உங்க bookல I am not an entrepreneur னு.
அந்த book I have not read, so don't ask me any question on that. I didn't.
But why are you not an entrepreneur? இவ்ளோ different varied businesses ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கீங்க.
I was a person who could understand risk. And therefore, I was not want to take any risk. So I was not an entrepreneur. So I respect entrepreneurs, but I am not one of them.
நீங்க 3 மஸ்கெட்டியர்ஸ்னு உங்களை சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க மிஸ்டர் ராஜா and மிஸ்டர் ஜெயராமன் சார். எப்படி இருந்தது அந்த நேரம்? இது ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு நீங்க
He never had any muskets to be called any musketeers.
ஒரு அண்டர்சர்வ்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி அவங்கள ரீச் அவுட் பண்ணும். ஏன்னா பேங்க்ஸ் அந்த டைம்ல இந்த பீப்புளை ரிஸ்கா பார்த்தப்போ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு செக்ஷன் ஆஃப் பீப்புளுக்கு நம்ம வந்து இந்த சர்வீஸ் ஆர் இந்த பிஸ்னஸ் அவங்களுக்கு தான் நம்ம செய்யணுங்கிற இது உங்களுக்கு எப்படி?
நியாயமா இருக்கணும். You have to be fair. You have to be just. The bigger people had bigger people to support them. So it's okay. We are small people, so we went in the service of smaller people. That's all.
ஸ்ரீராம்னாலே இப்போ நம்பிக்கைன்னு மாறிடுச்சு. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு இமேஜ் எப்படி அந்த ஒரு சூழ்நிலையிலேருந்து நீங்கள் ஸ்ரீராமுக்கு உருவாக்க முடியுதுங்களா?
நம்மளாம் ஒன்றும் உருவாக்கல. இட் ஹேப்பன். இட் ஜஸ்ட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ். தட்ஸ் ஆல். யூ டூ யுவர் பிஸ்னஸ் வித் அன் அவேர்னஸ் தட் யூ ஆர் சப்போஸ் டு பி சர்விங் த கம்யூனிட்டி.
இன்னைக்கு நம்ம ஸ்ரீராம் பார்த்தோம்னா உலக அளவில் ஒரு பெரிய நிறுவனமாக இருக்காங்க.
உலக அளவில் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. மயிலாப்பூர் அளவில் பெரிய.
ஸ்மால் இஸ் பியூட்டிஃபுல் சொல்லுவாங்க. அதை பற்றி நீங்கள் இப்போ என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க?
Big also is beautiful. Many small things are also ugly. It's not small is not always beautiful. Big is not always bad. There are beautiful things everywhere. Most of the generalizations are wrong.
இந்த ஸ்ரீராம் லோகோக்கு பின்னாடி ஏதாவது இருக்கா சார்?
So he created that man and he had put him in ordinary common man's dress, you know. நல்லா இருந்தது. I liked it that way.
Because இப்போ the thing now is failing fast is always better and then recouping faster.
I wouldn't say so. One shouldn't fail fast. That means we are not looking at what is happening.
If you take Shriram Chit Funds, தான் savings ஓட ஒரு main aim இருந்தது. If you take the current generation, saving as a habit is itself decreasing.
Decreasing? I don't think so. People would always like to save.
வணக்கம் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் எக்கானமிஸ்ட் தமிழ் நேயர்களே. இன்று நம்மளோட பியாண்ட் பிஸ்னஸ் பாட்காஸ்ட்டை இந்தியா மற்றும் இல்லாமல் உலக அளவில் மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு குழுமத்தோட நிறுவனர் இருக்காரு. 1,50,000 கோடி ஸ்ரீராம் குழுமத்தின் நிறுவனர் பத்மபூஷன் மிஸ்டர் ஆர் தியாகராஜன். வணக்கம் சார்.
வணக்கம்.
இவ்வளோ பெரிய நம்பர்ஸ் வந்து நம்ம பார்த்தாலுமே தியாகராஜன் சாரை பார்த்தா ஒரு 3 விஷயம் தோணும். ஒன்று உங்களோட சிம்பிளிசிட்டி, ரெண்டாவது நீங்கள் எப்போவுமே உங்கள் கூட வேலை செய்கிற ஊழியர்கள் உங்களோட எம்ப்ளாயீஸை முன்னிறுத்துறீங்க, இதெல்லாம் தாண்டி மூணாவது இவ்வளோ பெரிய ஒரு சாம்ராஜ்யம் இல்லை ஒரு வெல்த் கிரியேட் பண்ண அப்புறமோ அதை வந்து பங்கிடணுங்கிற உங்கள் எண்ணம். இது வரைக்கும் நான் கேள்விப்பட்டதில் இந்த 3 விஷயம் தான் டக்குன்னு உங்களை பார்த்தோன்னே பளிச்சுன்னு தோணுது நமக்கு. அதுக்கெல்லாம் போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி சார் முதல்ல சின்ன வயசுல தியாகராஜன் சார் எப்படி இருந்தாரு? உங்களோட சின்னவனா இருந்தீங்க, எப்படி இருந்தீங்க? ரொம்ப நாட்டியா இருப்பீங்களா, துருத்துன்னு இருப்பீங்களா? அப்பா சொல் பேச்சு கேட்ட பையனா நீங்க?
அநேகமாக யார் சொல்கிறதையும் கேட்காத பையனாக தான் இருந்திருக்கேன்.
நான் நினச்சேன் அப்படிதான் இருந்திருப்பீங்க.
I used to be fairly independent even in younger days. அதுக்குன்னு கொஞ்சம் டிஸ்ட்ரக்டிவாக எதுவும் பண்ணுறதில்ல. வியூஸ் வில் பி இண்டிபெண்ட், அவ்வளோதான். ஆக்ஷனில் ஐ தாட் ஐ வாஸ் ஃபேர்லி லா அபைடிங். எல்லாத்தையும் போட்டு வயலேஷன்லாம் பண்ணுறதுலாம் கிடையாது. ஓகே, ஐ வுட் பி கன்சிடர்ட் டு பி அ குட் பாய் பிகாஸ் ஐ வாஸ் குட் அட் ஸ்டடீஸ். Teachers also will have a certain amount of consideration for me as a student. அப்படி தான் போச்சு. younger days nothing special, but I was good in certain subjects like mathematics. I was good naturally without making much of an effort. I was okay in mathematics. அதனால அநேகமாக கிளாஸில் பையங்களுக்கெல்லாமும் எப்போ வருவான்னு பார்த்துன்னு வந்த உடனே என் நோட் புக் எடுத்துன்னு காப்பி பண்ணிடலாம்னு ஒரு 4 பேர் 5 பேர் உட்காந்து
ஸ்கூலுக்கு எப்போ வருவீங்கன்னு காத்திருந்தேன். ஸோ ஆல்வேஸ் நீங்கள் அந்த புஷிங் த பவுண்டரிஸ் நிறைய ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்கீங்களா சார்?
I wouldn't push anything. I was
testing the limits.
What I was. I didn't want to be anything different at any stage. I was reconciled to the idea that I am. That's all. It's okay. இது சேஞ்ச் பண்ணி என்ன போகிறது அவசியமும் இல்லை.
ஏன்னா எல்லாருமே ஒரு வேலைக்கு போகணும்னு ஆசைப்படுவாங்க. நீங்க கண்டிப்பா ஒரு நிறுவனத்தை ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கீங்கன்னா
முதல்ல வேலைக்கு தான் போனேன். I never wanted to start anything. I did not want to be a businessman. Actually, in those days, after I completed my mathematics MA and all that, I was wanting to be in government service because I realized at that time If you join government service, you don't have to do anything for the rest of your life. You are being taken care of by the government totally without you having to do anything spectacular or useful. அதனால் my ambition was to join. அது கூட IANDASன்னு வச்சேன், இந்தியன் ஆடிட் அண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் சர்வீஸ். நான் அக்கௌண்ட்ஸில் உண்மை பண்ண முடியாது, அது பாட்டுக்கு இருந்துட்டு இருக்குது, தட்ஸ் ஆல். Then I thought the rest of the time I will be listening to music and I used to read a great deal. Literature கொஞ்சம் படிப்பேன் நிறைய. I was a person who could read a great deal. அதை பண்ணிட்டு லைஃப்பை ரொம்ப அமைதியாக நடத்தினோம்லாங்கிறது தான் அப்ஜெக்டிவ் அந்த சமயத்தில். பட் திங்ஸ் டர்ன்ட் அவுட் வெரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட்.
நீங்கள் நியூ இந்தியா அஷூரன்ஸில் இருக்கச்சே உங்க கூட B.K. ஷா, மூத் ஆஃப் இந்தியன் இன்சூரன்ஸ் இருந்தார். அவரோட ஏதாவது தாக்கமா இதை ஒரு நிறுவனம் ஆரம்பிக்கணுங்கிறதுக்கு ஊண்டுகோலாக ஏதாவது?
I think there was an influence of Mr. B.K. Shah on me which I could diagnose and recognize much later. When it was happening, I was not aware that it was happening. But later on in life, when I was going through different kinds of experiences, I could relate. Some of the things that I did, some of the things that I did not do, all of them I could relate to probably something in what I had observed in Mr. B.K. Shah running that great organization in India. So I used to tell our people also that Mr. B.K. Shah was more or less my inspiration or guru. If you want to say that somebody is an inspiration for someone, then I would say Mr. Shah was my inspiration, though I was not aware that I was being influenced. Later on, I was thankful to know that yes, he had influenced me. Not only Mr. B.K. Shah, I was working in another company, JB Board, in a totally different way. That man also was great. He was not like Mr. B.K. Shah, that the sense that Shah was recognized internationally as a great insurance man. Whereas our man, the next person with whom I was working was Mr. J.B. Boda. He built a small but a very valuable enterprise. It was not very big, not very noticeable. It was not like Mr. B.K. Shah, but equally great. As a human being, both of them were extraordinary human beings. It's something which I recognized much later, not during that period.
So right place at the right time இருந்திருக்கீங்க. நீங்க 3 musketeersனு உங்களை சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க மிஸ்டர் ராஜா and Mr. Jayaraman sir, 3 musketeers. எப்படி இருந்தது அந்த நேரம் இது ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு நீங்க?
We never had any muskets to be called any musketeers.
Good things that turned out of the musketeering maybe.
I always used to believe that it needs more than one person to do something worthwhile. That is why you will see, if people say that I have had a hand in creating the Shriram Group, I would say no. Shriram Group has grown on its own. Shriram Group is a product of an evolution. It was not a product of creation. It has evolved. There have been different people coming in at different points of time, occupying different positions, different responsibilities. Cumulatively, something good has taken place. Only one thing I would say, we were consciously trying to adopt or make people believe that this is the way we should be. That is our commitment to the community. Money making and wealth creation was not ever my focus. We are doing things because of the people around us. We are a very poor country. Whatever we can do should make some difference to the people who are in that. That thinking, to some extent, might have been influencing my colleagues also over a period of time. So by and large, I would say we are inclined towards service to the community as a priority rather than creating wealth for the community. Incidentally, if you create wealth the right way, you can create wealth in so many ways, right, wrong ways and all. If you create wealth the right way by involving the people, then you are doing a good service, and that is the purpose of business.
Wealth
As
is a
Gandhiji,
byproduct.
in that sense, you can say I was a Gandhian. I was influenced by whatever Gandhiji said to businessmen. That business is a way of serving the society. That was what he was saying. That was what he was telling Birla. You make money, you create wealth, but that great wealth is the one you are doing. You are a trustee of that wealth. You are not the owner of that wealth. You are the trustee of that wealth. That was his trusteeship doctrine for businessmen, Gandhiji's. Some of them were influenced. Certainly Tatas were influenced partly by that. And I worked in an organization which was a Tata organization. New India was a Tata organization. These influences might have been there.
உங்கள் பேக்ரவுண்ட் பார்த்தா நீங்கள் ஒரு வெல் ஆஃப் ஃபேமிலியிலேருந்து வந்திருக்கீங்க. பட் உங்களுக்கு ஹவு டிட் யூ ஃபீல் சார் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அண்டர்சர்வ்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி அவங்கள ரீச் அவுட் பண்ணும்? ஏன்னா பேங்க்ஸ் அந்த டைமில் இந்த பீப்புளை ரிஸ்க்காக பார்த்தப்போ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு செக்ஷன் ஆஃப் பீப்புளுக்கு நம்ம வந்து இந்த சர்வீஸ் ஆர் இந்த பிஸ்னஸ் அவங்களுக்கு தான் நம்ம செய்யணுங்கிற இது உங்களுக்கு எப்படி
அப்படி நியாயமாக இருக்கணும். யூ ஹவ் டு பி ஃபேர், யூ ஹவ் டு பி ஜஸ்ட், யூ ஹவ் டு பி ஃபேர் டு பீப்புள் அரவுண்ட் யூ. People around me consisted of truck operators also. And I could see that they were paying a very high interest rate. Many of them were becoming bankrupt because they couldn't afford to pay that. That one could see, it's part of the environment. And as insuranceman, I was involved with the truck operators. And I felt that we should try to see that their life becomes a much better, more livable for them over a period of time. Then we started lending money to truck operators. And then started talking to the community as to how good a risk it is. I used to tell our truck operators also that if we had a lot of money and if Birlas and Tatas come to us and ask for a loan, and a truck operator received number of truck operators ask for I would give priority to truck operators loan rather than giving a loan to Birlas and Tatas. To that extent, I said I am trusting the Indian truck operator. And I think we benefited because of that. We trusted them. They were trustworthy. Then it started that way. The focus has always been serving the community one way or the other.
So if you take us back to 1974, Shriram Chits ஆரம்பிச்சந்த நாள் அது எப்படி சார் இருந்தது?
I did not start it. Mr. A.V.S. Raja wanted an occupation. He was a railway employee. He wanted to be a businessman. I used to know him when I was in Hyderabad. We were all together in a cultural organization. And I could see that he was good in raising money and all that. He was not in a very big position in railways. Then he was pestering me, we should start some business. By the time I had one or two small enterprises which were in truck financing. I could not have started the fourth or the fifth truck financing company. So looking around, I thought we could start a chit fund business which did not require much of a capital. We were not that well to do. And I did not consider my family money to be my money. So I did not want to depend or ask for financial support from the family. Even today, I consider family to be different. I am different, family is different.
So Shriram was a playground. And the madri people who had vision to work hard.
It
Shriram was a
attracted, I would
launch
say.
pad.
One of my colleagues, amazing person, he joined me, he insisted on joining me. I was with him in a bank, Vaishya Bank. I was with the Vaishya Bank for a period of 2 years because my boss in New India had taken over as the chairman of Vaishya Bank. So he said, why don't you join and help me for some time in building the business? So I was there on a 2-year contract with Vaishya Bank. This person was in one of the branches of Vaishya Bank. Then he wanted to join me. I said, you can't, we are in a chit fund business. And that's not a very respected business. Next to robbers, they consider the chit people to be dangerous people. Our government is so particular that they should say, you should not say you are Shriram Finance, you should say Shriram Chit Finance. You have to make yourself known to people that you are a chit man so that people will be very careful in dealing with you. That kind of an image a chit business has. So I told him, don't join this. You are in a bank, good or bad, small or big. Bank is a bank. Community respects a bank. So you can't leave. I said, you stay there. We will not take you. For about a year, he was after me. I said, okay, I will take you when you find it difficult to continue in your bank. If there is a problem, supposing you are transferred to a particular branch or you are being treated unfairly in your bank, at that time you come to me, probably we can provide something for you. It happened. My boss who became the chairman of Asia, he suddenly died at a very young age. I would say 51, 52 years. Just 5 minutes of heart problem, he died. Then the old gang took over Vaishya Bank and they transferred this, my friend, to a different branch. The next day he came to my house. He said, you will take, I am being transferred to Trichy. No, you have to take it. I said, okay. So we started a branch for him. And that made a big difference. He could demonstrate that even a business like chit fund business could be run well and effectively and efficiently and for the benefit of the employees as well as he demonstrated it beautifully. In 3 years' time, we handed over the whole company to him. He said, you are the person, you run it. You know how to do it much better than the way we have been managing it so far. And he did a great job. Chit fund growth was attributable to him. And he was one of our major partners subsequently. And amazingly, all his wealth, including what he had earned even before joining us, he put it in a public welfare trust, which he is now running. Nothing to the family, a minimum amount to the family. I would say the amount this he has transferred to that public trust would be in the region of around 60 to 70 crores. All that money is at public trust. Amazing. There are people like that. Good people here. We didn't create them, they came, they were somehow attracted to either this concept.
You had that ecosystem,
I don't know.
Launch pad, nu solla.
We are thankful to such people. There are quite a few of them in the organization. Even Akila Srinivasan is somebody who spends a lot of time and effort in serving the community in many ways. There are quite a few people in the organization.
நீங்க ஒரு மேக்னெட் மாதிரி இருந்திருக்கும் உங்க ஆர்கனைசேஷன். ஆல் லைக் மைண்டட் பீப்புள் வந்ததுனால இட் இஸ் லீப் ஃப்ராக் ஹையர்.
மேக்னெட்லாம் சொல்ல மாட்டேன். They came, that's all. Why you don't know?
You attracted all similar minded people. Like you talked about Akila.
I don't think I wouldn't like to give myself any credit for all these things. No way. Because I did not ever suggest to them that they should come, abandon their whole wealth and all that. I never talked to them on those lines. I was not a preacher, definitely. So there are no followers. So they did it because they were people who were inclined to be like that. It went on.
Sir, உங்க bookல I am not an entrepreneur னு.
And the book I have not read, so don't ask me a question on that. I didn't.
But why are you not an entrepreneur? ஏன் நீங்க ஒரு entrepreneur இல்லன்னு சொல்றீங்க? இவ்ளோ different varied businesses ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கீங்க.
I was a person who could understand risk, and therefore I did not want to take any risk, so I was not an entrepreneur. There were people who were inclined to take risk. I would encourage them. You love taking risks, then you can take a risk. You be an entrepreneur. I would like to sleep well every day. I don't want to take a risk and go sleepless. So I said, I am not an entrepreneur. But I am supportive of entrepreneurship to a great extent because entrepreneurship creates wealth for the community. So I respect entrepreneurs. I support them. But I am not one of them. I will not be one of them.
It's a conscious decision.
They were searching for a name for the book. Then I said,
hook line மாதிரி இருக்குன்னு. Why would Thyagarajan say he's not an entrepreneur? It's much more interesting to read then.
One of these days I think I will read it. I have not read it so far. I have become very self-conscious. You can't be thinking about yourself. It's not okay. Somehow I am not that kind of a person.
Definitely you're not like that. I understand that.
I consider it as narcissism.
சார், நீங்கள் ஆரம்பிச்ச போது சிட் ஃபண்ட்ஸ் மேலே நிறைய சந்தேகம் அந்த மாதிரி இருந்த ஒரு சூழ்நிலை தான் அது. அந்த சமயத்தில் நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஸ்ரீராம் சிட்ஸ் ஃபினான்ஸ்.
So even at that time there were chit fund companies which were respected in this society also. The press gave it a bad name. Seeking some sensational way of presenting information, you say if a company has failed, you call it a chit fund company. It was not a chit fund company at all. But to make it attractive for people to look at it as a news item, everybody said that the one which fails has to be a chit. Chit fund business acquired that kind of a reputation unjustifiably, I would say. The failure of chit business has been, but if you define everything that fails as a chit business, then chit business is bad. So it was a definition which was thrust on that industry. It did not deserve it.
ஆனால் பீப்புளுக்கு அந்த ஒரு மனப்பான்மையில தான் சிட் ஃபண்ட்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க.
வேர்டு அந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு.
நீங்கள் அதை எப்படி உடைச்சிங்க? ஸ்ரீராம்னாலே இப்போ நம்பிக்கைன்னு மாறிடுச்சு. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு இமேஜ் எப்படி அந்த ஒரு சூழ்நிலையிலேருந்து நீங்கள் ஸ்ரீராமுக்கு உருவாக்க முடியுது?
நம்மளாம் ஒன்றும் உருவாக்கல. It just happens. You do your business with an awareness that you are supposed to be serving the community. Which was that I would say the awareness that you are serving the community is broadly shared by quite a few key people in the organization, including, as I said, my colleague Mr. Kannan. Provided a small amount for his family members, about 10 lakhs or something like that. That was all they gave. The rest of it is all to the community. And most surprisingly, he never told me also that he was doing it. I had to come to know of it through a person who was one of our colleagues who organized a trust for him. He told me casually in a conversation that this has been done. I did not know, my colleague never told me that he has done like that. That is something great. He was a person who did not, I don't think he was influenced by any Swamiji or any god or anything like that. He was a good man, that's all. Extraordinarily good person.
So இந்த மாதிரி எம்ப்ளாயீஸ் இருக்கிறதுனால ஸ்ரீராம் இமேஜ் தானா?
It's okay, pleasant accidents, series of pleasant accidents, you would say.
நீங்க ஆரம்பிச்சது எல்லாமே வெரி அன்கன்வென்ஷனல் டைப் ஆஃப் பிசினஸ் சொல்லலாம். யூ லெண்ட் ஃபார் ட்ரக்ஸ்.
இல்லையே, there were any number of financiers for the trucking industry.
And you chose only to do second hand trucks and not like
we had not that much of money. You see, every new vehicle would cost about 4 lakhs of rupees in those days.
Fleet,
whereas an old vehicle will be only 1.5 lakhs of rupees. So with your money you can do only small ticket lending. So we had to focus on the small truck operators, the used vehicle operators. Not as if we wanted to do only used truck, we did not. But we were a small organization, so we had to choose our customers to be people whom we can assist. The bigger people had bigger people to support them. So it was okay. We are small people, so we went in the service of smaller people, that's all.
இன்னைக்கு நம்ம ஸ்ரீராம் பார்த்தோம்னா உலக அளவுல ஒரு பெரிய நிறுவனமா இருக்காங்க.
உலக அளவுல ஒண்ணும் கிடையாது.
கண்டிப்பா சார், எல்லாம்
மயிலாப்பூர் அளவுல பெரிய
ஸ்மால் இஸ் பியூட்டிஃபுல் சொல்லுவாங்க. அத பத்தி நீங்க இப்போ என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க?
Big also is beautiful. Many small things are also ugly. So these generalizations are all. It's not small is not always beautiful. Big is not always bad. There are beautiful things everywhere. Small number of beautiful things everywhere. That's all. Most of the generalizations are wrong, but people still insist on going in for generalizations.
Something for us to hold back to madri irukula sir.
I am a mathematical statistician, so for me numbers matter. If you say all small is beautiful, I say how many small people you have looked at, what percentage of them are beautiful. All that I will start asking questions. That person will stop taking it up any further. So numbers, science, that is what at least I have been trained, or naturally also I am inclined towards looking at things the scientific way, which means you have to prove everything. What is not proved, you call it a hypothesis. It will remain. You are aware of it, but you don't swear by it. What is proved is something you will swear by it because it has been proved to be right. But if it's a hypothesis, however beautiful that hypothesis could be, remains a hypothesis till it is proved.
இந்த ஸ்ரீராம் லோகோக்கு பின்னாடி ஏதாவது இருக்கா சார்? அந்த மேன்
ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. லோகோக்கு பின்னாடி ராஜா தான் இருந்தார். ராஜா என்ன பண்ணினார்? கோகுலு வாஸ் அவர் advertising company, Adwave. Gopulu, I knew him he was a good friend of ours. So he created that man, and he had put him in ordinary common man's dress, I liked it that way. Raja will have nothing to do with it. Raja thought big. He put on a suit, tie and all that for this man. So this man became a very, modern looking person, not the common man whom our Gopulu had beautifully. I told Raja that was much beautiful. But Raja said nothing doing. Logo ku pinnadi onnum kedaidu. People ask me whether your son's name is Shriram. None of you. The name Shriram was not given by any one of us. It was given by the government of philosophy. We applied for some name. They said we can't give you that name. Then he said, what is the name you can give? 3 or 4. We said, okay, you give this. There is no significance for the enterprise to be called Shriram.
நீங்க இந்தியாவோட பொருளாதார மாற்றத்தை பார்த்துருக்கீங்க. ஃப்ரம் அ க்ளோஸ் எக்கானமி டு லிபரலைசேஷன். யூ ஹவ் பின் த்ரூ திஸ் ஜர்னி. உங்களோட கருத்துக்கள் எப்படி இந்தியா மாறி இருக்கு, எங்கே போக போகிறோம், அதோட கருத்துக்கள் ஏதாவது பகிர்ந்துக்கணுங்களா?
இந்தியா மாறினதா சொல்ல மாட்டேன். The world has changed and India has managed to adopt 30-40% of the change. It did not take the whole change into it. Even today we are very backward, I would say. We believe in certain things because somebody has told us that we have to believe. We should teach our children science. Your television should have shows on science. It could be made very, very interesting also. At least we go to China and try to learn from them as to what they did to transform that society. China has again been under various dominations for so many generations and all that. How did they go today number one country in the world? United States has been left behind. One of those persons who had been there and who has written a book recently, he says China, everybody is an engineer. Politburo members, all of them are engineers. And he says in the United States, all the people who dictate the policy of the United States, they are all lawyers, and therefore he says there is no chance that the United States will ever come anywhere near China. The gap between China and the United States goes on increasing. It will go on increasing. Same here. The gap between us and China goes on increasing. It will go on increasing. Nothing will stop. You may say ABCD 1947 2057 we are going to be number one, nothing will happen. By the time we would have forgotten, we will have other slogans by that time. Management by slogans, we should manage by through science and technology, not by slogans.
The interest for mathematics.
Why mathematics? I believe that future belongs to mathematics. In fact, I go to our people will not like it. I would say a mathematician is the next stage in the human evolution. Just as today you and I, we are men, human beings, we have evolved. Next stage of chimpanzee to you and me is a major stage in evolution. Like that, from us to a mathematician is the next stage of evolution is what a mathematician is a different kind of a living thing, is what I believe. You can't, a person like Srinivasa Ramanujam, for example, you can't understand as to how a human being could have been like that. There are any number of mathematicians and scientists, I wouldn't say only mostly mathematicians, because most of science today has become mathematics oriented, mathematics driven. Concepts are mathematical. So I believe the future belongs to mathematics and to mathematicians. And if a society is not keeping abreast of what is happening in the mathematical world, it is likely to be left behind. We do not want India to be left behind. So we thought that we should do something in order to promote the learning, because our people would be good at mathematics, all right, if they are given an opportunity. So we said we have to create institutions. I was feeling that we should have at least 20 to 30. Each state should have 2 institutions dedicated to developing people in mathematics. Then we will be the world beaters in about 20 to 30 years' time. The way China has become a world beater today by focusing on mathematics. China is full of mathematicians. They trained themselves in mathematics by going to United States, but they went back to China and created mathematics.
இப்போ ஃபினான்ஷியல் சர்வீசஸ் செக்டரில் வந்தால் வாட் யூ ஃபீல் சார்? அந்த செக்டர் க்ரோத் அளவுக்கு ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் இருக்கா, ஆர் ஆர் த ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் கர்பிங் த க்ரோத் ஆஃப் த செக்டர் இட் செல்ஃப்? ஹவு டு யூ ஃபீல் அபவுட்?
I always tell our people something about what that leading economist, Milton Friedman, made a very famous statement. He said, you put the federal government, which is American central government, you put the federal government in charge of Sahara desert. In 10 years you will have shortage of sand, he said. What he meant was, a government will bungle even an unbungleable thing.
சார், நம்ம இப்போ வந்து ஃபின்டெக்ஸ், யூபிஐ பேமெண்ட்ஸ், டிஜிட்டல் பேமெண்ட்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் பார்க்குறோம். இவ்வளோ டெக்னாலஜி ஒரு அண்டர்சர்வ்ட் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து போய் ரீச் ஆயிருக்கா? ஹேஸ் இட் மேட் தெம் கம் வித்தின் த formal way of...
I wouldn't know much about it because I am not very good at mastering or even trying to understand technology. Whenever I see this, I feel like throwing it out. It complicates life, is what I feel. Life was much simpler in those days, but these IT fellows coming in and these fellows keep on changing it. I don't know how they change. I wanted to protest. They say from today we are going to change the entire system and all that. Then you are stuck. Whatever you were doing the previous day, if you do it again, you don't get the result here. Now, how should they, without my approval, how should they change the system? Tomorrow night at 12 o'clock, the whole thing will change. And it changes. Technology will not take us anywhere. Technology, you have to make use of technology, for which you should have people who have that scientific bent of mind.
ஆனால் நம்ம இப்போ நிறைய பார்க்குறோம் டிஜிட்டல் பேமெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருமே அந்த மாதிரி தான் காமன். நம்ம இப்போ சின்னதாக காய்கறி வாங்கினாலும் டிஜிட்டல் பேமெண்ட் தான் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ அவங்க எல்லாமே இப்போ கேஷ் எக்கானமியே கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப ஸ்லோ டவுன் ஆகிடுமா சார் இதனால?
I wouldn't know. As I said, I am not in touch with the developments in the IT area. It's beyond me, so I don't bother much about it. So I ask my son or somebody to look after this. I am not good at it. So they say it will improve things. I don't know. Whether you make a statement, a payment either through your RuPay or cash payment, I don't think it makes much of a difference for the person who is either paying or receiving. One thing we know about people like us, that generation people, life has become much more complicated.
நீங்களும் இந்த மாதிரி பீப்புளோட கேப்பபிலிட்டிஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. ஸோ ஸ்ரீராம், நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி இவ்வளோ டேலண்டட் பீப்புள், அவங்க கேப்பபிலிட்டிஸ் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறாங்க. அது எப்படி சார் ஒருத்தரோட கேப்பபிலிட்டியை அசஸ் பண்ணி ஐடென்டிஃபை?
I told you, no, our man decided to join me, that's all. I did not
select him. He was one of them, but you have an entire team over here.
Many of them had come by mere accident. Some of them like probably what they have seen among people who had joined earlier, so they may be attracted. We are not paying very high salary. Of late, we have started paying very high salaries. But till about 5 years back, our salary structure was not the highest in the marketplace. Still, we had very capable people coming in and all. I think it happens.
How do you spot that capability, sir?
We don't do anything. That's all I can tell you. It happens.
Is it a trade secret that
Like
you don't want to reveal?
yesterday night it was raining. I didn't create the rain. No. It's something like that. So many things happened around us.
Another thing, frugality. That has always been your approach business. Why has it been so?
I always believe this money belongs to the poor man and therefore it has to be spent carefully. That's all. Money is not mine, it's the poor man's. I keep telling our people, we are managing the poor man's money. So we have to be careful. That's all.
ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு உங்கள் மேலே ஒரு நம்பிக்கை பத்திரமா தான் இருக்குது அண்ட் ஈஸி உங்களை அப்ரோச்சபிளாகவும் இருக்கும்ல நம்மள மாதிரியே இருக்காங்க பயப்பட வேணாம் சிட்டி
I don't know whether there is any advantage in having that kind of an attitude. I know it is fair. I feel comfortable. I think we should be concerned about people around us. That's about all.
ஸோ ரீசெண்டாக ஸ்ரீராம் குரூப் வந்து இருக்கிற மிகப்பெரிய இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் வாங்கிட்டு MUFGயோட பெரிய டைப் அண்ட் த்ரூ அவுட் யோர் ஜர்னி இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ் வந்து ஸ்ரீராம் தேடி வந்திருக்காங்க.
ஸ்ரீராம் தேடி நாங்கள் தான் போனோம் முதல்ல. Subsequently they came in. First we went after them.
But you always made them feel as a equal or a much more equal partner.
That's true. We are fair-minded people. That I would say. Generally the culture of the organization is to be fair. Fair to the poor man and therefore fair to other people also. Fairness in dealings with people is one of the things which is part of what you call a culture of an organization. It takes years to create a culture. The way the terrorist attack on the Taj Mahal hotel in Bombay, the way it was handled by the employees of that hotel, amazing. In fact, they collected a few of those girls who were employed there. Look, there is one way you can get out now. Safe way of getting out. Ready? All of them said, no, we will not go. Our responsibility is our guest. So after they are saved and after they go away, only then we will go. Those people were amazed. People who were, in fact, Harvard University, they made a study of the whole thing. How did it happen? How did across the organization so many people had the same attitude that our responsibility to our customer is much more important than saving our own lives. We will not do it. That is a culture, a management culture, which is part of the Tata organization. You could see it, you could feel it in the Tata organization, any one of them. But it has taken maybe 150 years to create a culture. A series of great leaders, they had created the culture. Maybe something like that is there in Shriram. It's not a conscious process. It's not something which is designed and implemented in a particular manner. The personality of the people who accidentally come together in an organization, they determine the culture of an organization.
When you grow big in size, easier customers are and the culture retain பண்றதுங்கிறது.
It is going to become more and more difficult. You have to find ways of doing it. It will change. It may change. Definitely it will change only for the worse. It cannot change for the better. Size is always a problem. One way is to break it up into smaller units, which also we try periodically to make more and more units. But still it's going to be a challenge for people to retain the culture of service to people. That has to be there in the minds of people. We keep talking about it periodically. Hopefully it will have an impact.
ஸ்ரீராம் ஓனர்ஷிப் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் சார் அதுவே ஒரு ரொம்ப யூனிக்கான ஒரு மாடலாக இருக்குது. அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம்
Fairness, nothing else. People who had worked hard in order to create prosperity, they should share it. That's all. Major portion of it will go to the community. But it doesn't go to the promoters, definitely no, not to their families. It is for people who have been instrumental in creating that prosperity. So they should have a share, number one. Number two, everybody was asking for more and more salaries. So what I decided we will tell them is, look, you are going to be a partner. If you are a great contributor, eventually at the time of your retirement, when you don't need much of money, at that time you will get a lot of money, you will get a share of the company. In the meantime, don't go on asking for more and more money because it increases the cost. If I have to increase your salary, we have to increase the salary of the lowest fellow in the organization. Also, we have to do that. That becomes expensive in a business where the profit element is not very high. Therefore, we create wealth. I am not taking it home. No promoter is taking that money into his house. It is not there in our organization. It is available for people who have created it in a particular fair manner. For everybody it can't be given, but for some people who have been instrumental in creating this enterprise and who has made the sacrifice of not taking the salary which they might have got elsewhere for years, they should get some share of it, was what we conceived of it at that time. Fairness oriented thinking, that's all.
Has your simplicity at any point of time been a disadvantage to you, sir?
No disadvantage. Being, if I got 20 shirts, it's a problem as to what shirt I should wear. If I have only 4 or 5, it becomes very easy for me to take decisions. I did not have more than 4 shirts. Recently, I have become a bit more, because of some visit to Delhi and all that, our people bought 4 or 5 shirts. So I think now I have got about 10 shirts.
That is a huge problem now.
It becomes a problem now.
How are you able to both attach and at the same time detach company-லேருந்து தள்ளியும் இருந்து பார்க்க முடியுது, அதே டைம் கொஞ்சம் ஒரு அளவு இன்வால்வ்டாகவும் இருக்க முடியுது? Is it not difficult to...
I said this when I was in New India Assurance Company as an employee. My boss said, you have to do like this. What you did is not correct. I told him, according to me, what I did was correct and I will continue to do it because I am not New India's servant. New India is the entity through which the community is paying me. I am the servant of the community, not this company. It's a stand which I took when I was 2 to 3 years old in my company in New India. And New India was such a great organization, they said, okay, this man is a bit mad, doesn't matter, okay. That approach I still have. Everything belongs to the community and it belongs to the poorest man around us. That's all. That thinking is always there for me, certainly. And I think many of my colleagues also feel like this man. To have given up this 60, 70 crores is something amazing. And not talking about it is still more amazing, I would say. In the last 7 or 8 years during which this has happened, he never spoke about it anywhere. Even when a meeting, when I refer to it, he is quiet. He doesn't say anything about it. So there are good people also in this world. That's good.
உங்க அப்ரோச் என்ன சார் எம்ப்ளாயீஸ்க்கு? தப்பு பண்ணட்டோன்னு கற்றுக்க வைப்பீங்களா or you guide them through to employees? What is your approach, sir?
Employees are ஒன்றும் அப்ரோச் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. They are employees. So
no, how do you
part of us.
Like you allow them to do their mistakes or you guide them through?
No, there is no need. Nobody takes any permission for making mistakes, no?
Definitely not.
Mistakes just happen, that's all.
But you would know, you must have crossed that already.
I would only say that in his position, I might also have made the same mistake. It's okay. It's all right. As long as there was no intention to cheat anybody or to take advantage of somebody or the other, mistakes are okay, part of living. In fact, that is again in New India, you know. There was one case which I used to talk to our people. They were looking for an exceptional individual to manage a new kind of an operation in Bombay Port Trust area. Top level management, 10 people were discussing as to who is the right person. Somebody suggested one name. One Mr. Lodha is good. Another person, no, he has bungled his earlier assignment, so he is not okay. Mr. V.K. Shah was in the meeting. He said, he had bungled it, he is the man we want. He would have learned from his mistake, so let him take him. So they took him and put him in charge of that activity and he did well. So making a mistake can happen. So you can't say that a person who is making a mistake has to be punished for making the mistake. What was the circumstances under which he took a decision? What was the probability of its being successful? There is a probability of its being unsuccessful also. So that even takes place. You can't blame him. It is probability that is operating there. Because
the thing now is failing fast is always better. And then recouping faster.
I wouldn't say so. One shouldn't fail fast. That means we are not looking at what is happening. That's why a scientific approach means our statistics or mathematical statistics is concerned about doing the right thing under the circumstances by looking at information very carefully and then taking a decision which has the high level of probability of success and a low level probability of failure. That we try to do everywhere. That approach will be there. It's not as if we make a lot of mistakes, a series of mistakes and then everything will become okay. It will not. You have to be careful. You have to be measuring risk. Measuring the advantage that you will get out of taking a risk. And when it goes wrong, what could be the damage? All those things you analyze. That's again a scientific approach, that's all.
So when we see you max கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக், சிட் ஃபண்ட்ஸ், இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு அசோசியேஷன் ஆஃப் பேட்டர்ன், நம்பர்ஸ், ரெப்படேஷன் இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. ஹஸ் எனி ஒன் ஃபீல்ட் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் யூ இன் த அதர்?
அதெல்லாம்
எல்லாமே சைலோஸ்.
I don't try to allow anything to influence me one way or the other. I am okay as I am. No need for any influences. There is any link between inclination to be mathematical and being in business? No such correlations. Close correlation doesn't exist.
If you take Shriram Chit Funds, தான் சேவிங்ஸோட ஒரு மெயின் எய்மாக இருந்தது. If you take the current generation, saving as a habit is itself decreasing.
Decreasing? I don't think so. People would always like to save. I am saying, when I say people, most of them. There are people who wouldn't like to, they would like to spend money, they lose money. But by and large, again, having been a very poor country, I think the tendency to save is strongly there. So that will continue to be for many, many years to come. We will be a saving community by and large.
Shriram start பண்ண புதுசுல there must have been various challenges to
ஒரு சேலஞ்சும் கிடையாது. Every day is
every day was a challenge.
Business building, you have to make an effort. You can't call it a challenge. It's a way of living. You have to do something in order to achieve something. Things don't happen pleasantly just like that.
What was your pushing force towards all this then?
I am not aware of any force.
Your character as such itself அப்படியே தான் இருந்தது காரணமா இருக்குமா?
See, they call it a genome. What you are is determined about 35 years back. In that one moment, one cell comes into existence. That determines what kind of a person you are, what kind of an experience you are going to have. That's all. That is what they call in genetics a genome, a combination of a cell from the mother and a cell from the father. The cell from the mother is slightly richer than the cell from the father, is what I used to say. And therefore, woman's contribution is more significant than man's contribution. This I keep telling our people. In fact, I tell them men are a bit dull because one of your chromosomes is broken chromosome, whereas the woman contributes a full chromosome. A man contributes a broken chromosome to make the child into a male child. And therefore, men are a bit inferior intellectually to women, is what I keep telling our people to annoy them.
If someone has to start a business for 2026, what would be your few advices for youngsters?
I wouldn't start. I should know something. I don't know. I will only know mathematics and calculations and things like that. I wouldn't know anything about it. I will look for a person who will create something. I will not do anything. I always look for a person. If I have developed confidence that he is capable of, he has certain strengths, then I trust him totally. இதனால் இவன் முடிக்கும் என்று ஆய்ந்து அதனை அவன் கண் விடல் is a great statement in management. அதுதான் essence of management today, at least as we have practiced so far. So you look at the person, you look at his capability, make an assessment. ஆய்ந்து, he uses the word ஆய்ந்து. இதனை, this task, இதனால், with these implements, even is important. This man can, not everybody, even முடிக்கும் என்று ஆய்ந்து புரிஞ்சுண்டு அவன் கண் விடல் is very important. Leave it to him, which is what we have done. Once we appoint a person as a chief executive, then he is the boss. We are not the people who appointed him, are not the bosses. If he says it should be done, yes, done, that's all. We may share our views and tell him that we look at it this way. But then after taking our perception into account, if he says he has to do it, he goes and does it, that's all. Vidal I practice. Adanai avan kan vidal. It's also very convenient. You don't have to do anything, no? You leave it to the other person. It's okay.
Do you think இப்போ நிறைய செமிகண்டக்டர்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி நியூவர் ஃபீல்ட்ஸ்க்கு போகிறது இந்தியா கிட்ட பேஷண்ட் கேபிட்டல் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? இன்சூரன்ஸ் ஆர் ஈவன் சிட் ஃபண்ட்ஸ் வாஸ் ஒன் சச் ஃபீல்ட் வேர் யூ நீட் அ லாட் ஆஃப் பேஷண்ட் கேபிட்டல். அந்த அளவுக்கு இப்போ இருக்கா? Patient capital we have to import from other countries. We don't have patient capital. We are a poor country and the poverty mindset even influences people who are very well to do. They have patient capital, they wouldn't like to part with it because the community around us is very particular about preserving, saving. That is, being a poor country, it's unavoidable. So that influences the thinking of people who have the resources which could convert into patient capital. That doesn't happen yet, not yet. They put it into a kind of a fund, like an investment fund or your private equity fund. Try to make more money out of it. They don't put it there
thinking that they are going to lose. They think that by putting money, spreading it over 10 or 15 investments, the value will go up. So it's not as if, I wouldn't call it patient money at all.
நீங்கள் ஸ்ரீராம் எப்போ கம்பெனிலேருந்து ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷனாக மாறுதுங்கிறத எப்போ
மாறியாச்சே.
ஏதோ ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ல யூ மஸ்ட் ஹவ் ஃபெல்ட் நோ சார் இட் இஸ் சம்திங் பிகமிங் பிகர் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷனல் வைஸ் ஆல்சோ.
அதெல்லாம் கதை எழுதுறதுக்கு தான். These things don't happen. You don't think about. See, I have got into business when I was probably 25, 28 years old. Now, as you see, I am almost 90. 70 to 70 years, என்ன பண்ணிருக்க முடியும்? So many things happen, that's all. You don't plan, this has to be done at the 60th year, you will do this. Nothing of that kind. As and when things happen around you, whatever needs to be done at that point of time, if it occurs to you, or if somebody suggests you, or if somebody forces you to do something, or if you have got into problems, you have to get out of it, then you do things, that's all. See, the only thing that I have done is look at human beings and give them the freedom, select, okay, this person is capable of doing a small thing also. If we can do well, already give him a small thing to do. If a person can do big things, try to arrange resources which can be committed to a big idea. That I like to do. I used to like it, like to doing it, it's okay.
What is it that still excites you, sir?
My blood pressure has always been 110 by 60, which means nothing excites me.
Better to be calm now.
That also I don't try, it is there. Blood pressure being at about that, as I said, 100 by 60. That reliable and trustworthy, my blood pressure has been there. Blood pressure as well as the weight, I don't think, it's not changed much in the last 20 years now. So no excitement, nothing excites me.
உங்கள் நேரத்துக்கு மிக்க நன்றி சார். நம்ம ஸ்ரீராமை பற்றி தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னு ஆரம்பித்து நம்ம பாட்காஸ்டோட தலைப்பு மாதிரி பியாண்ட் பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்ரீராமோட முகமாக இருக்கிற உங்களை பற்றி இன்னைக்கு நிறைய தெரிஞ்சிருக்கோம். உங்கள் நேரத்துக்கு மிக்க நன்றி.